Hey guys, well, before you even take a photo, there's three important things you need to worry about: ISO, white balance, and shutter speed. Aperture is also important, but those are the most important. But we'll talk about aperture as well. ISO, make sure that you try the lowest ISO possible. If you have a full frame camera, you can get way further, but if you have a crop sensor, I wouldn't say go over ISO 200 normally, or 400, because sometimes even 400 it looks terrible, especially with Canon. I'm a Canon owner and I have a crop sensor camera and full frame, so I'm just letting you know on that. So let's talk about shutter speed. What I normally do, I try to go 120. I can easily hold that. Sometimes 240. But, I mean, it depends on what you can hold. Everybody holds a shutter differently. And white balance, well, you're going to actually need to get out of using auto, because auto white balance, it can cause problems because it can change every single picture, which means that your textures in your picture will change every single frame, and you might end up with something alien. I'm just saying, it's kind of a bad idea. As for aperture, I say f9 or 10. You don't want to go too high on aperture because it will cause diffusion. But just play with your camera and find out where your sweet spot is. Everyone has one. Me, it's either 8, 9, or 10, depending on the camera or the lens. And finally, let's talk about photos. You also need to take as many photos as possible. The more photos, the better your stand is going to be. If you do something like 10 photos, it's going to look terrible usually. 20 photos might look okay. It depends on what you shoot. What I shoot is 50 minimum, or 49 or 48 or 40, but nowhere less than 40 photos. I'm just going through my process. Everybody's different. Now, it also depends on what you shoot, like I said. Some could actually be 300 to 400 photos. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and let's dive into Lightroom. Hey guys, and welcome to Lightroom. The first thing we want to do is import our photos. So import photos or videos. In this case, it is photos. And then I actually go to a folder I already have in here called blocks, and we'll import all these. And it might take a few, and it's low. Okay. And I don't know why. Oh, my develop tab just disappeared on me. There we go, we got it back. Okay, there's a couple things I want to do. I want to do lens correction, but for some strange reason my new lens doesn't show, but we can remove chromatic aberrations. I might try it one more time and I'll show you the problem I have. Canon is that I actually have an EF 35 to 70, but for some reason it shows up. And there isn't even a 35 to 70 in here. Maybe we could just skip it, but I'll just show you. Now, if you have lens correction, highly use it. It'll get rid of the distortions that we don't need. But that looks pretty good. We can just remove the chromatic aberrations. And some reason library wasn't showing. There we go. And what I'm going to do, we're going to copy these settings, developer settings, copy settings, everything should be fine there, copy, and we'll select the rest of these and we can just paste away. Developer settings, paste settings, and there we go. And finally we're going to export as a TIFF file because we don't want this huge raw file. It's going to take forever even at just 48 photos of our object. So file, export. Now I ain't actually going to export this, but I'll show you how to do it. Image format TIFF. Okay. And you just hit export and you're done.